Boom. Huge news! I should stop doing that. Or not. Okay, let's see. Let's see what is happening. Director's take balanced updates for Season 5. One sip of water and then we go. Let's go. As Season 4 ends, I'd like to look at the game's balance. This season we saw a wide matchmaking, selection of heroes get played, and for the most part, the game felt fairly balanced. From a win rate perspective, Season 3 and 4 were some of the most balanced in recent Overwatch history. With this in mind, let's look at 3 different topics from Season 4 and talk about how they will change in Season 5 and beyond. Specifically, I like to go over heroes like Junker Queen and Lifeweaver, one-shots, and crowd control abilities in 5 vs 5. There are a few standouts from a tuning perspective in Season 4. In the mid-season patch, Junker Queen was ultra buffed, and she really started to dominate. I don't know why, clueless. Her win rate popped up by about 5%, and she went from being one of the lowest picked tanks to one of the highest. For most skill tiers, Queen and Reinhardt were the 2 most picked tanks for the half of the season, the last part of the season. However, at Masters and above, Queen is far and away the most picked tank. I wonder why. One of the big changes that we made was to increase the healing received from her passive so that you do not need supports in your team to actually help you out, and tanks can do it all. Tank, damage, and heal themselves. We like this addition to her playstyle, but it makes Queen too survivable, so I'll be reducing the health she receives from commanding Shout from 200 to 150 to compensate. I'm sorry about this, but I gotta ask you something. Why would you say that one of the biggest changes we made was to do this, leaning us on that they're going to nerf the healing received, and they're nerfing another ability, not a passive? I'm confused. We'll also be increasing the cost of her ultimate by a small amount since she's getting it at a faster rate than before the mid-season changes. Now, my opinion because the game has been out for like, what, 7 years, 10 years, 20 years. Obviously, if you're going to increase the amount of damage, lower the cooldowns, increase the amount of healing that you're going to get, you'll get your ultimate fast. Like, I'm lost. I don't know this. I don't know what they did with Junker Queen. Although she did need some help though, but she was definitely overtuned. Hopefully she'll be more balanced in Season 5. Now, the hot topic. Lifeweaver is a really dynamic hero. Some of the plays that people have pulled off with him during Season 4 were pretty astonishing. However, he's not... What play is swapping from him? However, he's not powerful enough to be a solid pick for most players. Previously, we stated that we would like there to be a reason to pick new heroes over others in the roster. This is still our goal for new heroes. We want them to bring something new to the table. However, at the moment, we're looking for the best wave to bring Lifeweaver to a baseline. Once people are playing him more, we'll get a cleaner read on the character. It only took us almost 2 months. Players will either start utilizing the varied parts of his kit, or we can look into adding something else to it. So they're looking into adding something else, so they haven't... In Season 5, there will be quite a few changes, mostly buffs, and here I was expecting nerfs. Coming to Lifeweaver, we'll have specific details in the patch notes, but players can expect increases to his healing and damage output, a heal on his life grip, a slightly reduced hitbox, and some quality of life changes to Pedal Platform. Okay, we don't know the changes, but I do not think that buffing his healing and damage and giving him more healing is the way to go. Like, Moira heals and damages a ton and she's not played? We need other types of utility. This is confusing. I think they have no idea how to bring Lifeweaver into the meta. This seems like Moira treatment. Dude, he already heals a ton. Why would you heal him up so... Why would you increase the healing number so much? I'm curious what does the damage output feel like, because I think that he's probably the weakest duelist in the game. I don't think that he can actually win a 1v1 if the enemies are not missing everything. I think that with Junker Queen, they had no idea what to do at the beginning when they buffed her, and now they're addressing the issues because they might have went a little bit too dominating. But meanwhile, Lifeweaver, they're increasing the healing that he does. Blizzard, Lifeweaver is not played because he does low amount of healing. Why would we buff that? Why would you buff Life Grip with healing? Buff his healing. Why would... It's called... It's support, not healer. What would we... So literally, support for them, Lifeweaver at least, is just going to be a heal bot. Clueless. We'll continue to monitor both Junker Queen and Lifeweaver and make additional changes if necessary. This might be a wild speculation, This might be a hot take, but I think that this will be enough. Or maybe he heals 200 per shot. Maybe he has some incredible amount of healing. Who knows? But yeah, they're buffing his healing so he doesn't have to heal bot. You think that's what it is? We'll have to wait and see. I hope Lifeweaver is going to be played because what? Kiriko was played, Ramatra was played, Sojin was played, Queen was played. Lifeweaver is like the one that hasn't been meta since his release, and it's been more than 2 months, and it feels like he just got forgotten overall. If I would release like a new hero, I'd try to make sure that the community is excited to play the hero rather than releasing like what a lot of people consider the weakest hero that was ever introduced to Overwatch. We'll continue to monitor both Jungle Queen and Lifeweaver and make additional changes if necessary. Okay, so this is about Jungle Queen, then about Lifeweaver. What's this one? We'll continue to... Okay, the community has also voiced concerns over the number of one-shots from both Widowmaker and Hanzo. I am worried. Would like to reduce the frequency of these in-game, as well as shore up to some of the extreme sightlines in some of our maps. Widow's damage fall-off will change from 70 to 100 meters to 40 to 60 meters. The damage fall-off scalar will increase from 30 to 50%. She will still have the ability to one-shot 200 health heroes at 50 meters or less, but further than that, it will no longer be a killing blow. Wait, let me enter the game. I'm gonna show you 50 meters. I'm gonna show you 50 meters in game. I think that Junkertown, Circuit Royale will never have a Widowmaker again.
I aim to devastate.
So what this means, from what I understand, again, not 250 HP targets, 200 HP targets. If you're playing with the Reaper or with Mei, the range is gonna be even... you can even survive from shorter ranges. So wait, let me show you this. So this is 40 meters, 10 meters, 20 meters, 30 meters, 40 meters. And let's just say this is like 45. I don't know. Let's say this is like 50. So I'm exaggerating now. So in theory, with Widowmaker, from here to here, this is more than 50 meters. This bot will probably not die in season 5. Okay, let's continue with this. Ping to check the range. Oh, that's a good idea actually. Wait. Let me check the range. Let me check the range. Close range Widowmaker.
I aim to devastate.
They said at 50 meters. So I guess 51. So like from here to here. Engage from what I understand, enemy. This target will not die in season 5. Okay. Let's continue reading because this is exciting. Okay. Hanzo will receive a slight nerf to his damage so that he is no longer able to one-shot 250 health heroes. His Sonic arrow will also be more recognizable by the enemy team. The intent here is to reduce his skills that feel like they come out of nowhere. We're constantly discussing the nature of one-shots in Overwatch 2 and whether they're healthy for the game in general. This is worrying. You know what this encourages? Hear me out. So, you know what this encourages? This encourages big tanky heroes to be played up close range, and it is becoming a MOBA rather than an FPS. This is exactly what's happening. You're encouraged to play 250 health heroes and more and just brawl and have a bunch of tanky characters around you, and you're literally playing first person World of Warcraft. You're not playing an FPS. Now, I still don't have like a clear opinion on whether snipers should be able to one-shot in games and stuff, because the one-shot mechanic is kind of annoying. But it's a sniper, it's an FPS. It's a sniper, it's an FPS. I feel like it's the identity of FPSs. It's like making a MOBA without a tank. It's, you have an FPS game, you have to have a sniper. It's like, I don't know, it's like something's missing out of it. This seems a bit extreme. You have a ton of ways to deal against snipers. Okay? And people are gonna be like, but Mr. Extreme, I get sniped from nowhere. Bro, sniper stays here, is efficient that sight line. They cannot wallbang you. If you play around that, you can do okay. Okay, it's a little bit extreme, my opinion. The problem that you have though is team comp wise. There are some team comps that force you into the open against snipers. And of course, some snipers can take control over the lobby. I'm not saying that, but that applies to every hero. Every hero at the strongest state can take control over the lobby. Now, I don't know what other mechanics you can get out of this and how you would address this. I don't think that changing what a sniper is and making a hero medium range as a sniper is the way to go. This is not okay. This is worrying. This changes for casual players, ML. And as a casual player, what is one of the most played, not classes, with one gun do you play the most in any FPS? With snipers. You're playing with snipers. Everybody wants to play with what's the name of that gun in Apex? I forgot the name. Kraber. Everybody wants to play with a Kraber. What is this? It's just a ton of fun. It's a ton of fun. It is a ton of fun. I don't know how they would balance this. Again, I don't have like, I'm still debating overall, like what is my opinion of one-shots in Overwatch with snipers and stuff, but I do gotta, I'm set on this. Snipers are part of FPS identity, and them taking away sniper strength overall and making them medium range heroes, or if you're a tanky hero, like from long range, you're not gonna be punished for it if a sniper snipes you, just encourages you to play tanky heroes that have a bunch of HP and that just brawl in front of you. And that is not an FPS. That is a World of Warcraft. It's a MMORPG or MMO, but or like MOBA, but first person. Okay, we're done with this. Let's continue reading this. Lastly, I like to talk a bit about crowd control abilities in game. When we launched Overwatch 2, we made some significant changes to our combat model. The biggest was the shift from 6v6 to 5v5. Wait. Before we move on, I want to get some messages. Stop saying snipers as in multiple. It's sniper because one of them has a bow and arrows and spams instead of pinpoint focus aiming. True. Keep the Widow nerf in her ultimate. Upgrade her sniper to a one-shot Kraber for a limited time. That would be an interesting idea. Well, that's what the community has been screeching about, so they need to please the community, right? You know what I'm amazed? I don't understand this. If you're a tank or a 250 HP DPS, you should be punished if you walk in the open against the sniper, bro. You need cover. You need proper positioning. You can't be upset that there's somebody a kilometer away having enough time to land 4 headshots on you if you miss position and you have bad movement. Like, I understand that it's frustrating to play against snipers and stuff. If you're a squishy, maybe. But this is also like a direct buff to tankier heroes. Bro, if you're in the opening state, I had a bunch, because Junker Queen is meta right now. I've had a Junker Queen doing this. So, wall here, Junker Queen. Headshot, dead. Goddamn Widowmaker. What? What is that? You're in the open. What are you doing? It's an FPS. Wait, what if I don't know, the other dude, IRL, has, I don't know, 80 kilos and you have 300 kilos of pure muscle. Do you think you can survive 3 bullets to the head? You can't! How do you expect this? Oh my god. Anyway, so now that my rage moment is over, let's continue this. Okay. Lastly, and I'm scared about this, I like to talk a bit about crowd control abilities in game. When we launched Overwatch 2, we made some significant changes to our combat model. The biggest was the shift from 6 vs 5 to 5 vs 5. A part of that change was to remove most of the crowd control abilities from our damage and support heroes. I'm scared. Overall, we think that this was a positive change to the game. At times, the original game felt like you're in a pinball machine. But we have a lot of high mobility heroes in the roster, and the team can't always rely on their tank to take off them. So the tank's job is to take care of high mobility heroes in the roster. So we're softening our approach here. We don't want to return to the state of the game was in previously, but we feel like there is more room for CC, especially soft CC, in our lineup. We'll be making changes to both Mei and Cassidy for Season 5 with this in mind. Mei's endothermic blaster will be updated. The primary fire will still slow targets, but it will also build up to an effect that will apply a much larger slow for 1.5 seconds. For players of the original game, this feels familiar to the way her old weapon worked. Cassidy's magnetic grenade will also get updated to deal less damage, as well as applying an effect that slows and blocks movement abilities. On top of these changes, we're also going to be making some tweaks to several heroes in Season 5. We can't wait for you to see them when the patch goes live, as well as the other fun things we have coming to the game next season. That season. As always, thanks for reading, and I'll see you in game. Okay, hear me out. Just hear me out. So, okay. Jungle Queen problem, they overbuffed her. They're taking action into this. Whatever, it's over. Okay, she might be played. Okay. Lifeweaver. New hero. Really weak. I still don't think that I know what to do with him. They're buffing his healing. His healing is not his problem. His healing is that his hitbox is very big. He has barely any dual potential. And if you have someone that has 0 dual potential, then the utility that he brings to the table should be insane. And the utility that he brings is a Hollywood elevator and a pool. We'll have to wait and see what they do. So, okay. One-shots. Again, I'm not saying that I like getting sniped by Widowmaker or by Hanzo in-game. I'm not saying that I enjoyed this. But I think that we can all agree on one thing. Snipers are identity of FPS. And I feel like are part of the identity of any FPS game. And punishing snipers to not be played to be like weaker against tankier heroes and stuff just makes the game not feel like an FPS. I think that the snipers are a little bit oppressive right now in the state of the game, but it might be because of what heroes are being played, what team comps are being played, the design of the maps even, because I guarantee you that if Circuit Royale would have an entrance to the left side, would not be played that much. Or other maps like Junkertown would have like more cover, you would not be played that much. You know what I mean? So, okay with one-shots. Okay with one-shots with this. Debatable, they can do a lot of things. I don't think that this is it. This is a huge nerf to Widowmaker. Okay, now this one. This is one that I'm worried about. So, currently, what translation is this? Heroes are zooming around, and we need to keep them still. This is the translation to this. Heroes are everywhere. High mobility heroes, they're zooming everywhere. And here at Blizzard Entertainment, we think that is the tank's job to do against high mobility heroes. So it's the tank's job to deal against Genji, to deal against Tracer, to deal against Sombra. It is the tank's job to do that. I don't know how, but it's the tank's job to do that, apparently. So right now, we need more crowd control in the game to make heroes not zoom around that much. So in order to do that, we're giving crowd control, increasing the crowd control that DPSs have by adding extra crowd control, extra soft CC to Mei and to Cassidy. Didn't they say when they released Overwatch 2 that the goal was to not enter a crowd control meta? To make it feel like an FPS and not just stun after stun after stun? Didn't they mention this in like a blog post towards the beginning? This will just make it everybody turn around close enough and that's it, just stuns. Non-stop stuns after stuns after stuns after stuns. So I'm also like a little bit worried of this. Mei build up on this. This isn't fun. And I don't think that Mei needed any help. Mei is in a pretty decent spot right now. I don't think that Mei needed any help with this. Larger slow from 1.5 seconds. But this is what I'm worried about. The grenade does less damage more damage than Overwatch 1, I would say, because in Overwatch 1, I think it did like, what, 5 damage. It applies a slow and blocks movement abilities. In Overwatch 1, didn't the Cassidy nade just make you stand still for 0.5 seconds? How long is the slow? How big is the slow? How long is this block movement abilities? Did they actually make his nade stronger than in Overwatch 1? I don't know what's happening. They might have. From what I can read, they might have. This is difficult. It's still a slow and not a stun. I would personally prefer being stunned for 0.5 seconds than being slowed for, I don't know, 3 seconds. I don't think it's going to be 3 seconds. I think it's going to be a second or a second and a half. Still, I just want to say, I don't think that utility-wise to secure kills and stuff, if tanks have stuns and stuff to deal with them, I think that soft CC should be given more to supports rather than to DPSs in these duels, in these situations. If you want to bring back CC to the game, give supports more stuff to do rather than just sit around and heal your ass. Why do you prioritize on giving this to DPSs? Like, it's called support. Supports can support with slows, with block movement abilities, with stuff like this. Why DPSs have soft crowd control? Why don't supports have soft crowd control? Why doesn't... Look, what do we have now? Ana has Sleep Dart that got nerfed. Baptiste has no crowd control. Brig has a whip shot that is very nerfed against tanks. She doesn't have the stun on her shield. Boop, we need more stuff like this. I don't know, maybe if Moira... Here's the thing. I don't know, Moira sucks you off for 2 seconds and then you get slowed for a bit. I don't know. Why should DPS not have soft CC? Because in my opinion, DPSs should excel at getting kills, at aiming, at going for duels and stuff. Support should excel at utility. Now, if you give DPSs extra utility, then you're taking away from the strengths that other roles have, that you have to have in your team. So like, it's like a tank that can heal himself. It's like a DPS that can heal himself. I feel like if you want to work together as a team and make it like everybody contributes and stuff, rather than support just stay in the back and heal you up and you're at the mercy of your DPS playing well or your tank playing well, then you're gonna have a good game. But when you give the tools that supports have to DPSs and to tanks that supports, in my opinion, should have, such as soft CC, and tanks and DPSs are doing bad, then what's the thing? It's a team game. It's a team game. What's next exactly? Are they gonna bring Sojourn's slow back? I like how oppressive Ramatra's slow is. I don't like Sojourn to have her slow back. I don't know. This sounds interesting, and this is the nicest thing I can say about this so far from reading this. I want to see the changes. I want to see the numbers. I want to see how it plays. I want to see how it feels and stuff. But I'm a little bit worried that these changes as a whole will just reintroduce brawl metas and everybody just being close together to each other. That's what's gonna happen. And then people are gonna be like, wait, this game sucks. It's like goats. It's like whatever. And it's just an endless cycle. Endless cycle. Endless cycle. I don't know what they're doing. I really don't know what they're doing.